taxes are too high for working people, and some of the things we're spending money on, I think we've got to change. So I particularly identify the very large sum of money we're spending on net zero, which I just don't think is the right priority for the country now.
Yeah, and indeed, you call on the government to halt the net zero acceleration and prioritise cheap energy over clean energy. So just for total clarity, are you advising Keir Starmer to rip up Ed Miliband's green energy targets, for example?
Yes, I am, and I'll tell you exactly why. And it's not that I'm against renewable energy, clean energy, and it's not that I'm a climate denier, but it's coming to terms with this reality. The three biggest emitters in the world today are China, America, and India. Together, they account for just over 50% of global emissions. Right? All of them are pursuing cheap energy and electrification. Doesn't mean to say they're not doing renewable energy. China builds more renewable energy than the rest of the world put together. It just means that the lens through which they judge policy is cheap energy and the need for electrification, particularly in the age of AI. Britain's emissions are under 1% of global emissions. So we can't solve climate change. And to impose costs on our own business and consumers in order to accelerate to net zero when the rest of the world is not doing so I don't understand the logic behind it. Or shutting down our own North Sea oil and gas industry in circumstances where, again, I don't know another country in the world that's doing that if they've still got a requirement to import energy from oil and gas.
I mean, you've been Prime Minister. You know the gravity of what you've just said. Ripping up the Energy Secretary's plans on this would suggest that his position is untenable. You can't rip up his whole direction and policy agenda and expect Ed Miliband to remain in post after that.
Well, it's really a question of explaining to the country and to Ed. Look, right now, we need to get growth levels up. We need to recognise with this AI revolution that we're going to need cheap energy and energy that allows us to power that AI revolution. And therefore, whatever is the benefit, it's not a question of ripping up the idea of clean energy. It's a question of abandoning what is an unnecessary accelerated target to fulfill that, which both imposes a cost burden and, in respect of our own North Sea oil and gas industry, means that we're leaving stuff in the ground we could take out and use. And what's more, we're losing the revenue from that. So the other aspect of this that's really important is that if our fiscal position is tough, and it is tough, that's why we've had to raise taxes, is it sensible to be spending money on this?